Hey, this is Super Game Ghost, and you're watching the top 10 rare and expensive Game Boy Color games. Prices referenced are for complete in-box games. Let's start. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge is a puzzle video game developed by Intelligent Systems. It was first released in 2000. This game is the handheld counterpart to Pokemon Puzzle League for the Nintendo 64. It blends classic puzzle mechanics with the Pokemon theme. The gameplay revolves around matching blocks of the same color in a Tetris-like grid. Players clear the blocks by aligning at least 3 of the same colors either horizontally or vertically. If blocks stack up to the top of the screen, the game ends. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge features 5 different game modes, which are basically all variations of the same block matching game. The game also features familiar trainers and Pokemon characters from the Johto region. Players can unlock additional Pokemon by progressing through the game. Complete in-box Pokemon Puzzle Challenge is worth $300. Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy Color is a stealth action game developed by Konami Computer Entertainment Japan. It was released in 2000. Known as Metal Gear Ghost Babel in Japan, the game is an alternative universe take on the Metal Gear franchise, separate from the main series continuity. Set in a parallel timeline, the story follows Solid Snake as he is called out of retirement to infiltrate a fortress in Central Africa called Gindra. The terrorist group Gindra Liberation Front has obtained a new Metal Gear prototype, and Snake is tasked with neutralizing the threat. Like the main series, the gameplay focuses on avoiding enemy detection rather than direct combat. Unlike the open-world environments of console entries, the game is divided into separate levels, each with specific objectives. This design complements the handheld format's hardware restrictions and allows for shorter play sessions. A complete in-box Metal Gear Solid is worth $330. Revelations: The Demon Slayer is a turn-based role-playing game developed by Atlus. It was released for the Game Boy Color in 1999. Known as Megami Tensei Gaiden Last Bible in Japan, the game is part of the Megami Tensei series but tailored to be more accessible for younger audiences. This spin-off combines traditional RPG mechanics with demon recruiting gameplay in a fantasy-inspired setting. The game is set in a fantasy world where humans, monsters, and magic coexist. You play as L, a young warrior with a mysterious destiny. L lives in a land where magical powers are granted by Gaia, the source of all life and energy. When an evil force threatens the balance of the world, L sets out on a journey to uncover the truth about his origins, defeat powerful demons, and save humanity. Compared to the mainline Shin Megami Tensei games, Revelations: The Demon Slayer simplifies the demon recruiting and fusion systems to make them more beginner-friendly. Revelations: The Demon Slayer is worth $350. Return of the Ninja is an action platformer game developed by Natsume. It was released in 2001. Known for its challenging gameplay, the game serves as a spiritual successor to Shadow of the Ninja, which was also developed by Natsume for the NES. In Return of the Ninja, the player controls one of 2 ninjas, either the male Tsukagagi or the female Sayuri. The gameplay mixes platforming, stealth, and combat. The game consists of multiple stages, each set in diverse environments, from traditional Japanese castles to outdoor forests and enemy bases. Levels often require solving small puzzles or navigating complex layouts to progress. A complete in-box Return of the Ninja is worth $400. Survival Kids is an action-adventure survival game developed and published by Konami. It was first released in 1999. Survival Kids is one of the earliest games to focus on open-ended survival mechanics, tasking players with staying alive on a deserted island while searching for a way to escape. The game begins with the player choosing either a boy or a girl as their character. Alone and with limited supplies, the protagonist must survive by foraging for food, crafting tools, and avoiding dangers. Survival Kids is notable for its open-ended gameplay and emphasis on resourcefulness. Players are encouraged to experiment and explore to survive. Players must monitor their hunger, thirst, and fatigue levels to stay alive. Also, eating spoiled food or drinking dirty water can make the character sick. so food and water sources must be found and rationed wisely. Survival Kids is worth $410. Bomberman Quest is an action-adventure game developed by Hudson Soft. It was first released in 1998 for the Game Boy Color. Unlike traditional Bomberman games, which are typically grid-based and focus on multiplayer battles, Bomberman Quest combines the series' classic bomb lane mechanics with elements of exploration and RPG-like progression. This makes it a unique entry in the franchise with a focus on single-player adventure gameplay. In Bomberman Quest, Bomberman is transporting a group of dangerous monsters on a spaceship when an accident causes the ship to crash on a strange planet. The monsters escape and scatter across the world. Bomberman must recover the monsters, restore order, and repair his ship to escape the planet. Unlike traditional Bomberman games, Bomberman Quest focuses on exploration and progression similar to a Legend of Zelda-style adventure. Environmental puzzles often involve using specific bomb types to destroy obstacles, activate mechanisms, or manipulate the environment. Players can also collect power-ups to increase bomb strength, range, and placement speed, enhancing Bomberman's abilities as they progress. Bomberman Quest is worth $460. Wendy Every Which Way is a platforming game developed by WayForward Technologies. It was first released in 2001. It is based on the Harvey Comics character Wendy the Good Little Witch. The game's story begins with Wendy accidentally knocking over a series of magical stones in her library, causing chaos in her world. The disturbance opens portals to other dimensions, unleashing enemies and altering the natural order of gravity. Wendy must travel through various levels to restore the stones and set things right. Every Which Way is a side-scrolling platformer that incorporates unique gravity-defined mechanics alongside traditional platforming gameplay. Wendy can reverse gravity at will, allowing her to walk on ceilings and avoid obstacles or reach otherwise inaccessible areas. This mechanic is central to both traversal and puzzle solving. Wendy Every Which Way is worth $520. Pokemon Crystal is an RPG developed by Game Freak. It was first released in 2000. Pokemon Crystal is the third installment in the second generation of Pokemon games, following Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver. It serves as an enhanced version of those games, adding new features and refinements, while retaining the core gameplay of capturing, training, and battling Pokemon. The story of Pokemon Crystal takes place in the Johto region. Players begin their journey as a young Pokemon trainer tasked by Professor Elm to explore the region, collect Pokemon, and uncover the secrets of Johto. Pokemon Crystal was also the first Pokemon title which allowed you to play as either a male or female character. It is often seen by many as the best Pokemon offering for the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color era. Pokemon Crystal is worth $600. Resident Evil Gaiden is an action-adventure game developed by M4 Limited. It was first released on the Game Boy Color in 2001. A spin-off of the Resident Evil series, it departs from the traditional fixed-camera 3D exploration style of the main series on account of the Game Boy's hardware restrictions. Resident Evil Gaiden mixes traditional exploration with an innovative combat system designed specifically for the Game Boy Color. Set outside the main Resident Evil continuity, Resident Evil Gaiden takes place aboard the luxury cruise ship Starlight, where a new outbreak of the T-Virus has occurred. Players control Leon S. Kennedy and Barry Burton, two recurring characters from the main series, as they investigate the ship and fight bioorganic weapons. Resident Evil Gaiden is worth $745. Shantae is an action-adventure platformer developed by WayForward Technologies. It was first released in 2002. The game is often regarded as a cult classic and is notable for its charming visuals and smooth gameplay. In Shantae, players control the titular character Shantae, a half-genie who is the guardian of the fictional town of Scuttletown. The story begins when Risky Boots, an evil pirate, steals a steam engine, but the story evolves into a larger quest that involves magical transformations and defeating various enemies. One of Shantae's defining abilities is her dance transformations. She can perform special dances activated through specific dance moves that allow her to transform into different creatures. These transformations are crucial for exploration as they unlock new paths and allow Shantae to access areas she otherwise couldn't. One interesting bit is that it's rumored that the game only had a run of about 20 to 25,000 copies, which would account for its rarity. A complete inbox Shantae is worth $2,000. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos.